Hey guys, it's Nat, and today I'm going to be talking about which is better, an iPad or a Kindle for reading. I've always wanted to do this video ever since I got my iPad in April, and yeah, I've had my Kindle since 2017. So I have the iPad that's 10.2 inches, the cheapest option that you can buy right now. So I'll leave a link to it down below. And then I have the Kindle Paperwhite that I don't think they updated the Kindle Paperwhite. So yeah, it's just the white one. As you can see, the difference is huge. But today I basically want to talk about the benefits and drawbacks of both reading on a Kindle Paperwhite and an iPad, because ever since getting my iPad, I've been reading on it non-stop. And yeah, even though I do love my Kindle, I think I do prefer the iPad more, just because I feel like you get more for what you pay for, if that makes sense. But yeah, basically this is all based on my own opinions, so you guys might have different reading preferences, or a Kindle might be better for you depending on what type of reader you are. So I feel like if you're a person that reads a lot outside of your house, like when you're using public transport or when you're on the go in the park, I feel like it is safer and easier because it's lighter to travel with a Kindle. But if you're more like me and you read mostly in your bedroom or at home, I feel like the iPad is so much better because you get to use different apps instead of just using the Amazon Kindle app. And yeah, like why I decided to move to reading on an iPad is because I wanted to use my ebook and audiobook library more. So that's why I love reading on the iPad, because you get to, I use 3 different apps, well 4, but I've kind of stopped using audiobook subscriptions for now. But I love using BorrowBox, which is the library app that I use. It is amazing. I've borrowed so many ebooks and audiobooks from there, it's really good. And then the Amazon Kindle app, of course, and then I use Audible for audiobooks because I have one audiobook on there that I need to get through. And then sometimes I used to use Scribd a lot in the past, but I've kind of cancelled my subscription for now. But yeah, that is why I prefer the iPad, because of all the different apps I can use and basically read books for free if I'm borrowing them from the library. So now let's get into the actual benefits and drawbacks of a Kindle and an iPad. So for Kindle, I feel like what's great about the Kindle is that it's purely a reading device, so you won't get distracted with notifications from other like social media apps. You just basically read on it, that's it. You can easily purchase books from the Amazon Kindle store and it just transfers automatically onto your Kindle. The only social media that you can actually use is Goodreads, so you can update as you read your reading progress, which is great. And also I feel like the lighting options are so much better for your eyes. I feel like the light up back screen is really nice when you love reading at night, because I did notice that I don't read as much at night as I used to when I read on my iPad when I used to use my Kindle. And it's also safer to take out, because I used to take it to the beach and not worry about the sand scratching the screen, because I don't know how they made the screen, but it's so durable. Okay, there are some scratches, but it's still so much more durable than an iPad would be. The drawbacks of a Kindle is it can be quite slow, like the interface. Like sometimes when you click on a book, it can take a while to load up. I haven't had trouble with like changing pages, like being slow that way, but it just can be quite slow in terms of like using the Goodreads or like trying to buy an ebook on the actual device. Also, another drawback is you can only read books that you purchase from the Amazon Kindle app. You can't borrow books from the library. Maybe if you have like a newer, more expensive Kindle, then I think you can download apps on these, but in terms of the Paperwhite, you can't. You just have to buy books. Or if you have the Kindle Unlimited, you can borrow books, but you can't use like a library app on it. Also, another drawback is you're just limited to using this device as a reading device. So if you want to be like more minimal with the amount of devices you use for different things, then this one isn't really for you. Like, you can't listen to audiobooks, etc. Also, when highlighting and annotating, you can't really use colors on this one because it's black and white. So if you're more like a color coordinated annotator, it wouldn't really work for you in terms of using a Kindle Paperwhite. Now onto the iPad. I'm not gonna hold it up because I actually use it for notes for videos. So yeah, a benefit of an iPad is that it works way faster than a Kindle. Well, it depends on kind of like the storage that you're gonna have and how much stuff you have on your iPad, but mine works really fast, and yeah, I really love it for that. You have multiple functions, so you can argue that it's better in terms of value for money. The iPad is quite more pricier than a Kindle, but I feel like in the long term you're gonna save more money because you can use it for multiple functions. Like, I use it for so many different things apart from reading, but I still read a ton on the iPad. So you can borrow books from the library. I use BorrowBox, as I mentioned before. You can listen to audiobooks, which is fabulous. And then you can also use different colors when annotating. I believe there are 5, and I love that because I just am a color person. But the annotating is only for the Kindle app. On BorrowBox, you can't really annotate in library books, so that's a tip I have. And then drawbacks are, it is kind of harder to travel with. Maybe if you put on like a screen protector or something, you'll be less scared to use it like at the beach, but as it is quite much bigger than a Kindle, it would be kind of hard to like take out an iPad and like hold it with one hand when you're reading on like transportation and stuff. And when you like compare the like weight, the Kindle, like, you can barely feel it, whereas an iPad is quite much heavier. I don't know if I'm the only one that sees this as a drawback, but I find that on the Amazon Kindle app on the iPad, you can't buy books. Or am I like just a bit dumb and don't know how to operate it? I find that I have to go on Google Chrome, access Amazon website from there, and then I can buy ebooks, which, to be honest, is kind of not a drawback for me because I buy less books that way because there's many more steps to go through to buy a book. So it makes me conscious of that, but I thought it could be a drawback for those that want to like easily purchase a book from the Amazon Kindle app. And again, it can be quite hard on the eyes in terms of the lighting. Like, you can change the layout to a black background, but still it's not as good for your eyes compared to the Kindle, which was designed for reading specifically. And also the reflective screen can be a bit annoying depending on how you're like sitting and laying down when you're trying to read. Like, the sun can reflect, light can reflect, so you don't get that with the Kindle. So yeah, that is the positives and drawbacks that I found of having a Kindle versus an iPad. I still prefer an iPad, but again, it depends on what type of reader you are. If you want me to do positives of reading digitally compared to physical books, let me know down below, as I would kind of love to film that because I don't know why, but I feel like I love reading more digitally than physically. I can't remember the last physical book I've actually read. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Which one would you prefer reading on? Or if you already use both methods, which one do you prefer? As I would love to know, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.